Let's take a look at how we can use the new Pyro Cops tools to generate this sort of 2D motion graphics type of Pyro reveal effect. So I'm going to drop down a cop net here, and we're going to dive inside. I've just set my background for my viewport, so press D in the viewport, and come to background, and we can set that to be dark. That's going to help us work with the Pyro so we can kind of see what's going on a little bit easier. But I'm going to drop down a font node, and I'm going to just type in fire. That'll be our text. You can put whatever text you want. I'm also going to take the font, and I'm going to pick a font that is a little bit thicker. So I like the black fonts. They work a little bit better in my opinion for this. And then we're going to drop down a Pyro block. And this is going to give us our Pyro block as well as a Pyro configure. So inside of this block, we're going to do all of the editing of our layers so that we can have something that actually looks like fire. And then this Pyro configure is going to give us a set of options to control the resolution. So we can either set this to voxel size or resolution. I'm going to leave it on resolution, and for this, I'm going to, normally I would work at a higher resolution, so something like 600 is what I use for the final resolution. It gives you a lot higher, quality, but it does slow things down a little bit. Now, I'm not going to be able to work at this resolution while I'm recording, but I would recommend trying to work close to your resolution that you're going to actually export in, or your final resolution is going to be, because as you start to change your resolution, it can change the look of your Pyro quite drastically in some cases. So I would recommend starting to dial in your settings for their final settings to be at your resolution that you're wanting to actually work at the end. Now, I'm not going to be able to do this while I'm recording, so I'm going to set this to be a value of 200. And that should give us a little bit more quality, but keep us moving kind of quick here. So I'm also going to need to add some activation points. So we're going to do a layer to VDB leaf points. And I'm going to wire in our density for the reference VDB, and then our font for the thickness. And this is just going to give us a bunch of points here that we can then wire into our simulation for sourcing. So we're going to do a Pyro source from layer. Let's wire in our density for the source. I'm also going to come to our font here, and I'm going to wire this into the pass-through, because we're going to use this pass-through for the thickness. And I can take a look at this. Now I don't really see anything because I need to increase our amount here. So let's go ahead and crank this up. Something like that. I'm also going to set this to be set instead of add. You don't want to continuously add this to your simulation. It'll get pretty chaotic pretty quick. I'm also going to add down not an add node, but a bright node. And I'm going to increase our brightness to be value of 10 so that we can see this a little bit better as well. Now let's come in here and let's actually distort this. So I'm going to add some noise to make this a little bit more interesting. I'm also going to drop this noise pulse down, and that's going to just give us something that's a little bit more chaotic. If I go ahead and press play, you can see this kind of shaking all over the place. And we want that because fire is just kind of naturally chaotic. Now I'm also going to enable this distortion so we get some distortion to our initial shape here as well. I'm going to drop this the distortion scale down quite a bit here, and then the element size as well. Let's drop this down, something like that. And then our distort pulse, let's also bring this down quite a bit as well. And if I press play, you can see kind of what we're getting with this. So something very, very chaotic. Now let's take an add node, and I'm going to just give us some more space here. Let's wire in our bright into the foreground and our previous frame's density into the background. So we want to continuously kind of add some to this. And then let's do a Pyro dissipate, because we will want to dissipate some of our flames and smoke here. And the reason for that is it'll just continue to emit your smoke, and it'll just add a lot of calculation to your scene as well. So we do want to continuously dissipate some of this. Now we're going to wait a second to actually dial in this dissipation rate because you're not really going to be able to tell what you need to do until you have some other things added in here. For one of those is going to be the pyro buoyancy, because we want our smoke and our fire to raise up or like kind of go upwards. So let's add our velocity for our input and the temperature for our input. Wire this into the velocity for our output there. And then we're going to do the same thing as we did up here with our pyro source from layer for the density to our temperature. So we're going to take this bright, I'm going to alt click and drag to make a complete copy of that. And then I'm going to add another add node down, and we're going to take our temperature, add that to the background, and then the result of that bright to the foreground. And let's wire this into our temperature. Now let's come to this pyro block, and let's come back to our pyro buoyancy real quick. And let's go ahead and crank this up. Maybe something like that should work. And let's go ahead and press play. You can see now we start to have our smoke kind of rising here. Now, as I said, we don't really have any or very little dissipation going on. So this is just going to continue to raise and just slow your simulation down. It doesn't really look, like fire. So let's come in here, and I'm going to set this from dissipation rate to actually be a subtraction rate. And even if we crank this up to a value of 1, it's not really going to do a whole lot. So we can actually over crank this. So I'm going to set this maybe to like 12 and press play. And you can see that this is going to start to subtract quite a bit more from our actual simulation here. Now let's add some other things to distort our noise here, or our smoke here. Let's add a pyro turbulence. You can wire this in, and in this pyro turbulence, we're going to play around with our amplitude. So let's crank this up quite a bit, and let's bring this element size, and we'll leave it, we can even leave it at 0.1. Let's add this pulse duration down though. So this is kind of chaotic as well. So let's press play and let's see what this is giving us. So we get some breakup there. This is kind of somewhat smaller detail, but we can add some more detail to this as well. We can add a pyro disturbance. And with the pyro disturbance, let's go ahead, let's maybe increase this disturbance a little bit, and let's maybe increase our pulse length for this as well. Maybe something like that. Let's give this a shot. Let's see what this looks like. And that's looking a little bit more kind of like fire. So we can stick with this for now. Let's go ahead and wire this into a rasterize volumes. And we can wire our density in here. And let's take a look at this. And you can see we have this kind of outline here. That's just because of the way it's being composited over our grid here. I press D and just disable our ortho grid. That kind of goes away. But let's take this and let's do an RGB to mono. Or sorry, not an RGB, but an RGBA to mono. Let's wire this into our source. And let's come in here and do a remap. And then a mono to RGB. And we can dial in this remap here in a second, but let's set this up so it actually kind of looks like fire. So come to our little cogwheel here and let's set this to black body. And I'm gonna maybe bring this over, but I wanna have this remap affect this as well. So let's maybe crank this up just quite a bit so it looks a little bit more like fire here. And let's come back to our source from layer. Let's come back in here and let's just go all the way back to the start. We can maybe play around with this fall off as well. So you can do some different things to get some different looks here. So you can really kind of crank up your fall off here to kind of give this more like a contrasty type of a look. And let's see what this looks like. So not too bad here. Let's go ahead. Let's look at it with the fire. So that's more of what we're looking for. We can start to composite this more. Let's, in the next video, take a look at how we can have this kind of animate on and how we can start to add in our sort of like a burnt texture to our actual text.